son. Yeah, son, the smoke was still on high when the second word came through. Anochi told you who he is. This one tells you what to do. Lo, Lecha, elohim, acherim, panai. No other gods before my face, and son, that face does not go by. The Chinukh will not let you shrink it to a carved design. This is not about the statue, son, this runs along the spine. Do not believe in any god except for me, that is the whole. The battlefield is not the shelf, my son, it is the soul. You can smash 100 idols and still keep one in the chest. You can bother nothing visible and still not pass the test, son. I am not afraid you carve a face and call it God. I am afraid of what you hand the throne to with a nod. Something takes the first thought and the final thought of night. Whatever holds that chair, my son, is what you hold as a right. So the second word goes hunting where the hammer cannot go. It legislates conviction, son, the part that does not show up. Panai before my face and there is nowhere out of sight. So you cannot find a corner, son, instead another light. The first word said that he exists, the second says to guard. It builds a fence around the throne, and son, that fence is barred. Count them with me, son. The worship's number 4. Zevichah is the slaughter that is blood upon the floor. Haktarah is the incense that is smoke that climbs the air. Nisukh is the pouring and it counts if you pour there. Hishtachavayah, bowing when the body meets the stone. Duties for to any other, and you have denied the throne. 4 ways, 4 gates, and every gate is sealed. Lo, Lecha, that is the second word revealed. Now Ramban stepped in close, my son, and read it with the blade. Go and find me where the verses do not make what they have made. It says acherim of the gods, wherever hearts are turned. It never says do not construct them, and that silence must be learned, because the verb to make will not lie down beside a lie. You cannot build a god, my son, there is no god to buy. A man can cut the cedar down and shape it with his hand. He has made a piece of furniture, that is all that he has planned. So the prohibition lands where no chisel ever went inside the chest behind the ribs, where the realest sand is spent. The Chinukh stopped and praised him, said the phrasing was exact. He called it chen, the words of wisdom, grace upon the facts, son. That is what precision means. A reader with a knife, hearing what the verse declines to say and giving it a life. The idol was never the danger, it was always the belief. The wood is just the evidence, my son, the heart is still the thief. Count them with me, son, the worship's number 4. Zevichah is the slaughter that is blood upon the floor. Haktarah is the incense that is smoke that climbs the air. Nisukh is the pouring and it counts if you pour there. Hishtachavayah, botting when the body meets the stone. Duty for to any other, and you have denied the throne. And pouring, son, and sprinkling, they are one thing, not a pair. The sprinkler takes the weight the pourer was condemned to bear. This one is the great foundation, everything is leaning here. The Chinukh says the whole of Torah hangs upon it, some be clear. The Sifrei said it's sharper than a father ever can. Concede to Avodah, Zarah, you deny the whole of the plan. Now there are 2 ways in my son, and both of them are wide. The first is simple acceptance when you take one for a guide. The second one is worship either as if people man, or with the 4 that I just counted even outside its intent. Deny the whole entire Torah, that is what the Sifrei said. Not one law, not one chapter, son, the total of it dead. Because if he's not the only one, no other word is waiting. All the rest is preference, my son, and preference is not fate. Now here the blade goes deepest, son, so take the teaching. And he grants HaShem rules over him, and overrated still it is sin. Because you did not lower him, you raised another chair, and one chair in that chamber is the one chair he will not share. In the shoresh, son, he would not write a reason on the page. He said it is revealed and known and left it at that stage. Every other law he opens up and shows you why it stands. This one he refused to argue, son, he left it in your hands. And I marked the page and looked into my son's eyes. The Chinukh gave the prohibition, but the book remains. He named the 4 worships, now he opens up the tractate. Avodah, Zarah is the house that this one law is built upon. Part 2 brings the particulars, the honors and the nullifying, the stoning and the sin offering, and the 7 given to the nation. I have not closed it, son, because the second word is not done. Lo, Lecha, lo, Lecha, lo, Lecha, lo, Lecha, lo, Lecha. Yeah. Yeah. Zarah, Zarah, Zarah. Son, the prohibition landed, now the Chinukh opens wide. There is a tractate name for this, and we are going inside. He starts to list the details, some the list does not run short. Every question that a man could ask is carried to the court. What is the way of some worship? What is outside the way? And if the worship is the shame, it does the shaming also weigh? The insult is the ritual is the shame. He served it by dishonor, and the record holds his name. How far does the ban extend across the 4 and over? Who they said a man who breaks a stick in front of it is through. Snapping wood before the thing sits underneath the slaughter's head. That is how close they drew the line. That is how the ruling read. And they shut the books against you, son. You do not turn the pages. Not the ones about its service, not the others, not in stages. Anything that builds belief in it in any way at all. That is what they sealed, my son. The doorway, not the hall. Then it goes behind your eyes, my son. The wandering is banned. Here, I live. The heart's on drift and drift is contraband. What of the one who served it once and stopped it the same hour? What of the one who took it on and tried to take back power? Talk KDD bar. In the time of speech, you take the sentence back. Everywhere in Torah, thou save a man, but here it will not stack. Hearing in the words of marriage, these two will not release. The mouth committed, son, and now the mouth does not get peace. Zarah, that means foreign, that means it does not belong. Zarah, that means the outside walking in and coming wrong. They built a whole tractate on it in the house for what it fights. Avodah, Zarah, foreign service burning foreign lights. Zarah, 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 Zarah. A man can love to shake my son because the cut was fine. I fear it will do damage to him, and he never crossed the line. He never called it God at all. He only bent his knee. The Chinukh sets the question down and leaves it there to see. Then honor, son, the honors they forbade him to embrace, to kiss it, to anoint it, to hang clothing on its face, to put a shoe upon its Sanhedrin, laid all of that out. These are not the four we counted, but they are not without. Then be tooled and nullifying, and it matters whose hands. Or an Israelite cannot undo it like the one who served before. How far does the benefit run? Somewhat made a man still whole. What was joined to the ground from the start was good and lone and cold. From when is it an idol? Somewhat marks the hour returns. What are the vessels serving it? And if he broke it, what still burns? What was offered up to it? And what about the day its worshippers abandoned it and left it where it lay? Keep distance from its servants on the hour the service falls. The things you never sell them out of fear of what that calls. And keep away from any city with the thing inside his gate. And all the rest, my son, is in the tractate where they wait. Men and women, both, my son, in every place there is. And every time there ever was, this law is always his. With witnesses and warnings on the sentences, the stones. And if he never knew he did it, then a fixed offering its tones. And this 1-6 inside the 7, every nation had to keep Sanhedrin. And the difference between us and them runs deep. We are not held without a witness and a warning at the start. For them, no warning comes in blind and no one plays no part. Their own mouth can convict and they can speak and they abound. For us it takes the witnesses, the mouth is not the ground. And when they break the 7, son, it is death and death alone. For us it might be offering or lashes or the stone. And sometimes none of those at all, and that is the strangest one. A man who crossed the king's command and no court has begun. No set, no, my son, he lifts it and he walks. No verdict and no sentence, and the record never talks. He carries his own iniquity and no one shares the load. That is not the king forgetting, son, that is the longer road. Zarah, Zarah, that means foreign, that means it does not belong. Zarah, that means they outside walking in and coming wrong. They built a whole tractate on it, named the house for what it fight. Zarah, foreign service burning foreign lights. Zarah, Zarah, Zarah. And I closed the book and looked into my son's eyes. HaShem gave the second word, my son, and the second word was heavy. He gave us the prohibition and he gave us the whole tractate. He gave the stoning and the offering and the 7 for the nations. And he ended on a man that no court in the world will call. That is the one I need you to remember, son. The carrier. Because the king does not forget, and nothing here gets buried.